Gang. Sometime man, it's but let you know I'm back in the reaction, man. Hey, bro, I've been busy with midterms, so I did kind of miss this. We got JxmyHighRoller. They can't keep getting away with this. I don't even know what he talking about for real. You must come roll 10K, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's get into it, man. Midterms, bro. We're not finna start off with this shit, man. Steph Curry trying to sneak himself to the GOAT debate. Ah, that's funny. Curry is better than Magic. Not gonna count. How y'all feel about that top 100 though? And shit. Compare Porzingis to KG? Hell no. Well, hell no. Hell no. Some of this is crack now. I gotta relax and shit. Ben Simmons on the Sixers is Magic without age? That is crazy. 52-year-old Michael Jordan would easily beat Brian LeBron. Not gonna lie to you. Nigga, I'm a Jordan fan. I ain't gonna lie. No 50-year-old man is beating Brian. Like, come on, nigga. What the fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all is smoking.
I can't explain what he just did. I saw it too, and I can't. I've never seen.
Yo, Jordan paved the way for those handles, by the way.
The good
No
old
cap.
hot take. The necessary evil of the sports world. Through the good ones, the bad ones,
Jokic
and the
Harden.
downright atrocious ones. We once again find
This
ourselves
nigga just said Russell Westbrook is the greatest point guard of all time. Now, this nigga was at 96 today, and that's bad. I go cap. He ain't the greatest. Come on, man. What, in 2K? Come on,
racking
fam.
our brains, trying to figure out how some people come up with this nonsense. But today, I've done the brain racking for you and found some of the hottest NBA takes on the internet. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the circus. Today's video is sponsored by
Your sponsors gonna come on. I'm not finna fuck around here. You know what I'm saying? Even exquisiating that sponsor. Not gonna count to you, bro.
I did my reluctant scrub through NBA social
I respect
media,
it, though.
and to absolutely no surprise, there was no shortage of oddball takes.
I still can't believe
Here are
Jimmy
some
came
of the
out
more
with that shit,
interesting
man.
ones I came across. Now, our first take kind of blew up a few weeks ago because this NBA fan introduced an entirely new angle on the GOAT debate that many people, including myself, have never heard or considered before.
What's your most unpopular opinion?
I think that if LeBron came before Jordan, there wouldn't even be an argument about who was better.
Now, whether you agree or disagree, the take
Stay in the kitchen, my man.
itself is actually.
Hey, I'm over that. My bad.
Go into more detail, so she's
Hey, I'm joking.
LeBron
I'm
came to
joking.
the NBA in the
I'm
80s
joking.
With his size and skills,
Them motherfucking
he would
dishes
have
need to be washed,
dominated
ma'am.
the league so much
Go ahead and stay in that
his
kitchen,
resume
man.
would have made him the undisputed GOAT. Or she's implying
I'm all for
that
that.
even if their careers remained the same and they just swapped spots on the timeline, LeBron's legacy would have been cemented as the GOAT, and his resume and accomplishments would have been too overwhelming for Jordan to overtake him. But the first scenario is completely hypothetical. We don't know the extent of which LeBron would have dominated in Jordan's era. To assume we could just drop him in as a rookie in 1985 and he would win everything all the time is
You really don't know that, though.
And even if we somehow could, it's difficult to imagine he would have accomplished more than MJ did. Now,
That's all I'm
scenario
saying,
two
bro.
is
He's
a
not
bit
going
interesting.
6-0.
If their
He's not.
careers remain the same,
He's not winning all those
LeBron came before
DPYs.
Jordan, would he be considered the GOAT by the majority of NBA fans? Even if LeBron came before Jordan and everything remained the same, their accomplishments and stats and impact, Michael Jordan would still be the greatest player of all time.
Thank you.
In
Thank
fact,
you.
there was a LeBron before Michael Jordan. His name is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Scored
Ha.
more points than anyone
That's
else
all I'm saying,
in
bro. You can't put this nigga in this area and this in that area to that. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let people be, man. You know what I'm saying? How it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I gotta get him a bag before I even, you know what I'm saying? Get you a motherfucking bag and stop being so stiff.
NBA history, greatest NBA prospect.
You just wanna use your body and bulldoze. That ain't how it work, man.
And won 6 championships, the most of any player at the time outside of the '60s Celtics. Made the most All-NBA teams, had the most All-Star selections, had the most All-Defensive Team selections in NBA history by the time he retired. Won 6 MVPs, still the most of any player in league history. Kareem literally accomplished everything in basketball many times over. Had the frame
cap.
and the skill set way ahead of his time and was by far the best player in the league for an entire generation. In fact, Kareem's resume is actually better
Wait a
than
minute.
LeBron.
Kareem? Y'all think Kareem's the greatest Laker of all time still, bro? I feel like maybe. But not. I think that's a good question.
He did everything LeBron has done and more. And still, people anointed Michael Jordan as the GOAT over Kareem, despite Kareem playing before MJ. There's
Thank
nothing I
you.
can say
You know
that
what I'm
has
saying?
already been said. Michael Jordan was just way better than everyone else every single time he
No
stepped
cap.
foot on the court. He
No
had
cap.
such
Look at that high athleticism. Brian ain't going up for no goddamn. Maybe on the backboard. He ain't catching that shit in the air like that. You know what I'm saying?
overwhelming gap on
Look at that.
everyone in the league. That even when he was getting bounced out of the first round of the playoffs as a young guy who hadn't really done anything in the league.
By the way, playing
players
super
and
teams,
coaches
by the way.
around the NBA
feel me?
almost unanimously proclaimed that he was the greatest player to ever touch basketball. Just imagine if a player today won 3 titles in a row and then won 3 more titles in a row.
Boy, they will be on his eek. That's what I'm saying, man. This is why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. This video is proving I need my homeboys to watch this too. My fault I'm late, but come on, bro. He's the GOAT.
Best offensive player and the best scorer, and was first team all defense every season, and was
Boy, they
the
would be
biggest
praising
global
him.
sensation
They be like,
off
oh,
the
he can't
court.
touch him.
We are now a quarter century removed from Jordan's last days,
And
with the
nobody
Bulls,
has done
and
that.
his brand is still way more relevant than anyone that has come in
Thank
the
you.
league since. Even the old heads at the time, the guys
Look at
who
that
watched
shit,
Kareem
man.
and Dr. J and Wilt, were joining the Jordan bandwagon. Now, I'll admit that there's some nuance being overlooked here. LeBron has played tougher competition. The league is far more talented now than it was 30 years ago. But even with all that considered, eras and competition, skill set, talent, Jordan would still be the GOAT.
Thank you.
Even if LeBron came before him.
Thank
and
you.
had a cemented position
I hope
as the
I'm
GOAT.
sending this to my
I
group
know
chat,
this
by the
because
way.
there
I will
was
be
an
looking forward to
established, beloved,
to a
unanimous,
response.
and even more accomplished
You feel
GOAT
me?
when Jordan came into the league. His name's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Michael Jordan took his spot as the greatest player of all time. This next take comes from a fan who
Jokic
says that
peaked
Nikola
higher
Jokic
than Kobe
peaked
and
higher
KD
than
and
Kobe,
Kareem?
KD and Kareem. And
That's
although
kinda crazy.
Scorching hot, there may be some truth to this. Let's take a
Yeah,
look at the
it
numbers.
could be, but, like-
Here are the peak 3-season stretches from Kareem, Durant, Kobe, and Jokic. Now, clearly, Kobe was the best scorer of the 4. Kareem was the best on defense, but pretty much every other metric falls in Jokic's favor.
Ooh,
He's
nah,
a
I
bigger
mean, you bring it
offensive
out the
threat than
stats,
the
so,
other
I mean-
three with his scoring and playmaking. His relative team value, or how much he impacts his team's winning, is greater than the other 3. He's virtually as productive as the other 3, and he achieved this productivity on record high efficiency with a true shooting percentage that dwarfs the others. And he did this on relatively low usage. The eye test says
Ooh.
Kobe or Durant were probably better at their peak. Most of us didn't watch Kareem, but his numbers and impact on a championship-winning team suggest he was even better.
Bro, now that
than
skyhook is
Kobe
still
and
crazy.
KD at his peak.
Man did that shit for
And
the free throw
still,
line.
Jokic has a slight lead on even Kareem. So
I feel
in
like that's where
regards to
Jokic
the
got his
peaks
game
of
from,
these
though.
4
We
all-time
for real.
greats, Jokic contributes the most to winning. He's the most efficient with his possessions and his scoring. He's more productive than Durant and Kobe, but not quite as productive as peak Kareem was. He possesses the greatest overall threat offensively. He has the most individual value to his team, and he doesn't need the ball in his hands as much to do it. So, yeah. I'd say if we're strictly talking about peaks, Jokic peaked higher than Kobe and Durant, and might have peaked higher than Kareem, but it's hard to say since I never actually watched him play.
Hey, what y'all think
This is
about
a
that,
good
though?
take. Now this fan says that Harden is a top 3 shooting guard ever.
First off, Harden got to get his ass out the club before he even could. He got to lock himself into the game, to the brand of basketball. This nigga lost a playoff game to a bunch of scrubs. I remember when I was a kid. This nigga lost a playoff game, went straight to the club. Got his ass whooped at home. Spurs had, I don't even know who they had at that time, bro. They ain't even had their starters. This nigga got to lock into his crowd before he would consider him top anything of all time. Jordan, Kobe, and some other nigga maybe. I ain't gonna lie. Harden is not no top 3 shooting guard all time, bro. We need to lay off the high weed and the crack, man.
They changed the rules because he was too good. And he's
Now, I'm be real. When he dropped that when he was going crazy that year, you could, but overall he's not. Overall, he's not top 3 of all time. That's crazy. D Wade is better than this. D Wade, Kobe, and Jordan. Jordan could be shooting guard. Yeah, those are the top 3.
50% right.
Somebody gonna roast my ass for saying D Wade.
The NBA
I already see it.
legitimately changed some rules to slow down peak Harden. It's actually crazy to look back.
Peak Harden. Is he talking about peak Harden? If you talking about peak Harden, you might be cooking, but nigga, not overall. Be
Some
real.
of these stat lines from just a handful of seasons ago. Foul hunting, shot chucking, call it whatever you want. 36, 7, and 7 is wild. And let's
Now,
not
peak
forget
Harden,
Durant
you
doesn't
could
join
definitely
the
argue
Warriors.
that.
There's a
But
decent
overall,
chance
he's not.
Harden has a ring right now, and his legacy is completely altered. But he's still not a top 3 shooting guard in league history.
Nah, he's not.
Mike and Kobe are the clear 1-2.
Thank you.
And so for Harden to be 3, he would have to be ahead of Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. I
Which
just
he's
said
not.
D Wade.
As far as skills and talent, it's actually really close. But D Wade's career and impact on winning teams was far greater than Harden's, and he's the clear 3rd best shooting guard
AI.
of all
I think he better
time.
than
But
AI.
I do consider
It's
Harden
close, though.
as the 4th best shooting guard of all time, ahead of players like Clyde Drexler, Allen Iverson, and Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller kind
Now
of
this
low.
next take comes
Oh,
from
shooter.
LeBron,
Yeah, maybe.
who in an interview back in 2010 had this to say.
Knocked me out. Man, if I really wanted to,
Yeah, bro. LeBron hairline is suffering, bro.
every single year.
God damn.
But it doesn't matter.
Now, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, because according to 20 years of evidence, LeBron 100% could have won the scoring title in pretty much every season he's played in the league. In fact, I think there's a lot of players who could win the scoring title every year if they really wanted to. LeBron, KD, Steph, Dame, Giannis,
I mean,
Embiid,
if you want to lose, you know what I'm saying, you can get the score title. Basketball is a team game. I mean, if you want to lose, shit, go ahead. I see where Bron is coming from. You want to lose, shit, go ahead and get the scoring title.
Luka,
Feel
Kawhi.
me?
If you can get a bucket, you can get a bucket. The difference between scoring, let's say, 25 a game and 30 a game is simply shooting more shots.
Yeah.
For example, in
And that's gonna
nearly
lose
every
you games.
season MJ won a scoring title, he also led the league in shots.
Oh, let's should have go. Jordan,
By
no
a
cap.
lot. In fact, 24 of the last 30 scoring titles went to the player who attempted more shots than everyone else did. Among elite
Damn.
scorers, winning a scoring title usually comes down to an extra shot or two every game. Throughout LeBron's career, if he attempted as
Bro,
many
Brian looks
shots
so
as
serious.
the league leader did,
Yo.
and his shooting splits stayed the same, which tends to be the case for volume scorers, he would have won 12 scoring titles throughout his career, including 8 straight from 2008 to 2015. In fact, throughout Michael Jordan's 13 seasons with the Bulls, he averaged 23.3 shots per game. If LeBron attempted 23.3 shots per game throughout his career, he would have a career scoring average of over 32 points per
Damn.
game, the highest of all time. If LeBron tried to, he could have led the NBA in scoring nearly every season of his career. And our last take for today actually comes from Michael Jordan himself. Now, over the years, Michael Jordan rarely has much to say when it comes to his opinions on the game. He has mastered the ability to dodge tough questions and usually keeps his opinions pretty ambiguous. But when it comes to the Magic versus Curry debate, MJ was definitive on where he stands.
Although greatest of anything is always a debate, I beg to differ on greatest point guard of all time with what you said. Magic Johnson is easily the best point guard of all time. Steph
Easily is
Curry
crazy.
Very close, but not in front of Magic. You must define point
Who was
guard
this?
to
Nigga, I don't know what
have
this
a
was.
serious debate. Steph Curry is by far the best shooter of all time. Yes.
I mean, to be honest, it's debatable. It's debatable, but you can't say it's a far distance. Like, no cap. It's definitely it's definitely close.
Many shots for his
I'm taking Curry. Not gonna lie, I'm taking Curry.
teammates. He's a career
I would just be 1K.
shooter.
I don't know about y'all.
Magic
I'm taking
Johnson
Curry though.
Invented the triple double, not true invented, but makes it more noticeable in terms of the impact on the game. It's a point guard stat, to be honest. Magic was the best.
Passing,
You can go on.
IQ,
I
I might have to go
don't
Magic.
too much of your time. I know you
Shooting,
make the point.
Curry.
By the way, Magic has 5 NBA championships.
Wow.
That quote this morning at 5:45 was from Mr. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Wow, how about that?
And he asked me.
Damn.
He asked me to read it on the air.
It's close, man. It's
Back and
close.
forth.
It's
He said,
close.
I'm tired of this argument about Magic Johnson not being the best point guard in the history of the game. He is the best point guard in the history of basketball.
Sure,
It's close,
when
man.
you look at their careers at
This
face
is an embarrassing
value, Magic is
comparison. Ooh, I said it was close. This shit looks like different eras though. I don't know though.
still much greater than
I don't
Steph.
know.
But these debates continue to fail to bring up the difference between the best and the greatest. Up to this point, Magic
Facts.
Johnson had a greater career than Steph. But was he a better basketball player? Magic dominated his era more than Steph has dominated his, so by definition, he is the greater player. He achieved more. But if we're looking at skill set and ability and context, then I think Steph is the better player. If you
Facts.
had to choose between the two to play on your team, Who
I'm
would
too.
you
I ain't gonna lie. I'm
As a
choosing
quick
Curry.
experiment,
I'll
here
be
are
1K.
two former NBA players. Both all-time great players, both played in the league for over a decade, but one of them is more accomplished than the other. It's pretty obvious that player A is greater than player B. Except player A is 50s NBA legend Bob Pettit, and player B is Giannis. Now, this is an
Damn.
exaggerated
Damn.
example, but the principle is the same as the Magic
Damn.
Curry debate. Bob Pettit dominated his era like Giannis has dominated his, but Giannis's era is vastly better than Bob's was. Magic was revolutionary for his time, but his time was nearly 40 years ago. The game has
Bro, that's
taken
wild.
leaps
40
and
years?
bounds
Yo, you feel
over
like
the
it's been
last
that long,
40
though.
years. To compare stats and achievements to decide who had the greater career is pretty simple. But to use those metrics to decide who was the better basketball player when they played 4 decades apart from each other is tough to do.
Yeah,
If the
no
question
cap.
is who is the better player, I think the answer is Steph. If the question is who is a greater point guard, well, then the answer for now is still Magic Johnson. And
Yeah, Curry still got a long way to go, though, I feel like.
Can handle in one sitting. But y'all know the
Feel
drill.
me?
Leave a comment with your hot take, and as usual, the hotter, the better.
John Morant's gonna come in and win MVP. You can't win MVP. John Morant's gonna come in, win an NBA championship after getting suspended 25 games. That's my hot take. No cap. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen. I don't know why you looking at me like that, nigga. I said it. I said it. You feel me? Right? That's it for this. You much come roll to came in. Appreciate y'all. Let me know how I feel about that, man. I'm out.